Well. Hello there, guys. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another bit of StarCraft 2 action on this channel. I just noticed that this is still standing upright. I don't know, it's just what happens when I crawl out of bed. Anyway, what's up, everybody? How you doing? I hope you're ready for a little bit of StarCraft 2 here, as we have Astrea and Armani both sitting ready in the lobby, waiting for us to kind of get things started here, so... Alright, we good to go. Actually, yeah, Mage made a good point. Mage, our Chinese cast here, telling me I should make a party. Got a little bit of soup still. It was too hot to scuff down in one go. Still is a bit hot. Anyway, they're both ready, so... Without further ado, we're just gonna jump right into game number 1 here. The two A's. Armani and Astrea. Sure that won't give me any confusion. Probably won't. It's pretty far apart, actually, Armani and Astrea, right? If it was Armana, maybe that would have... Or Armanea. Or... Astrea and Astrea. That would have been bad, actually. I would have had to talk with Armani to change his name back to something else. Anyway. Alright. Here we go. A best of 9 on the horizon. And we're just jumping in right here. Game number 1 in the top right side. There's the Blues chilling out, relaxing, all cool. And mining some minerals just outside of school. Man, alright. He's from a freak of freaks. He is Armani. His opponent today, I've been informed that he actually went up against Dark earlier today as well. And he did alright. Anyway, he's the red Protoss here on the bottom left side. He is none other than the Alpha X player, Astrea. Okay, so he does get the hatch block here, of course. He is aware that apparently people mention that this does influence the win percentage by quite a bit here for Protoss. That's what he says. He wasn't completely sure about it just yet himself, but he's heard the statistics, the rumored statistics. So that's what we're having here. Let's see what he's going to be doing as a Nexus first. Alright, letting some of that greediness shine through. It's a good way to do it, of course. Has anyone here in the chat seen these series about between Dark and Astrea? I kind of missed it, so wouldn't mind having like a little bit of an update on what happened exactly, because I know it was a 1-to-1 series, but if anyone is in the chat right now, willing to spill the beans, let me know. Alright. Seeing Queens first here for Armani. As you can see them right on top of the hatchery. Third base. No, doesn't look like it's gonna get created just yet. Just some drones transferring to avoid overspillage in that main base. I kind of like this, actually. Armani just sending a couple of his drones, not half of them, which you see sometimes, right? Might be because this does, in fact, not slow down your production as much, right? Or at least your income. A lot of times people say that why it's so good for Protoss to block this is because if you do transfer your drones, it takes a lot longer to get there, right? And that's a whole lot of extra minerals lost, right? It's like one mineral per second, and if you're sending across like, I don't know, 6, 8 workers over there, that's a good amount. That's a good amount of minerals there that you lose. So maybe this is just a way to kind of mitigate that slightly. Pretty interesting idea, or maybe just spread it out a little bit, right? So it's less noticeable. Does mean the main base might get a little bit quicker mined out though, but anyway, we'll just have to keep our eyes out for that one. As the Adept Glaive upgrade does get spotted by the Overlord. But then again, it is one of those attacks that is just really good. So, regardless of it being scouted or not. Hey, hello. It's a speed upgrade. Alright, now. Armani should just be okay, right? Should be able to make a couple of Zerglings here. He already has speed. And then around, I believe it's like 4 minutes something. You should start up that Roach Warren here. It should be okay against an Adept Glaive attack. But we're gonna have to wait and see. It's gonna come down to execution here, when both players know what the other one is doing. I guess Astrea kinda knows what's up with Armani as well, right? I mean, he saw the... Well, actually, he didn't see the third base. So still a little bit of a potential that he does get 2-based, I suppose. Doesn't really happen all that much anymore, but... Still a potential threat. Still a potential threat. Sorry, some soup got in the way there. It's almost gone. Don't worry, guys. And we'll be up to speed again with all this observing. Putting the Wild Prism very far away, actually. Really doesn't want to get it sniped or poked at by those queens. Having to really reposition those depths, of course. Roach is not quite out yet, but there is the good amount of links here. And then the roaches should be available later on. So yeah, Armani doing a good job so far. Not over-droning whatsoever. Even making a spine crawler here at his third base. So I feel like he should be okay overall here. Once again, the depths shading in. But yeah, this amount of queens, that amount of links. You're not going to break this. You're just not going to break this. Let's try to have a little poke at the queens right there. I like the positioning on the middle side here. Good Overlord spread though from Armani, keeping tabs on everything that's happening here. Right, now you can kind of pick and choose your battles, right? You can even spread them out a little bit more easily, those adepts. Doesn't really get any kills just yet, but gets an alright engagement with the Lings here. Killing quite a couple of them, and those Lings are, of course, the tool that you need to pin down those adepts before they actually start shading on top of all your drones, and that is a little bit of a missed timing right now. Astrea definitely getting in there. Losing an observer. That's a bit of an unfortunate occurrence. But, you know what? Definitely kind of rotating Armani now. A little bit. Armani's just setting up on the ramp though. So he's just like, oh, never mind. He's gonna get a hatchery here, potentially, actually. Jeez Louise. Right, well. I mean, it's completely all in from Astrea, of course. But other than that, it's looking like it might work here. Might work rather reasonably well. Could even set up here, perhaps on top of that high ground ramp. We'll try to commit to the drones. Finally getting some real drone kills here, but rotating back and forth. More adepts here on top of those queens. The queen's in a lot of trouble now. It's a kind of a metaphor for how much in trouble Armani is getting himself into. I mean, he's on 27 drones now. That is a lot of drones that actually went down. You make more buildings as well. Oh, and the Warp Prism in the main base. Alright, alright. So he's going to cancel this. Oh, okay, okay. It does get spotted there. So that is good. Even if it didn't get spotted, there weren't that many. Well, I guess it's still half of the economy of Armani here. But it's not that many drones anymore left. I think we're going to head into a very quick game number 2 here, guys. As I'm going to enjoy another sip of my soup. Immediately the final sip of my soup. Oh, it was nice. Alright, well. Looks like Astrea is finally ready to try and transition out of this. Realizing that there's now enough roaches to just completely occupy the mineral line in both bases that are available for Armani. Even then, still getting in with a couple of adepts here. Killing off more of those workers. Oh my dear lord. 4 more gonna go down there. Not too bad, not too bad. Once again, this Warp Prism is just relentless. Absolutely relentless. It's like seeing Terrence going in and out with Widowmine drops here. Just coming in, coming out, coming in. Pretty nuts. Alright, well, good job there from Astrea so far, getting himself in a really good position here. Having that third base on the way, and you're gonna have to wonder how much Armani really believes in the macro game from this point onwards, right? And then again, if you scout this with your Overseer, you're gonna be like, well, I guess if I start making units here, I'm gonna die as well, so... Looks like he is banking all he's got on just remaking those drones, mostly. Or just get up to 45, that could be the case as well, as we're now seeing mostly roaches. Okay, so maybe he just wanted to get a certain amount here. No, alright, yeah, okay. So he is gonna go for the counter-attack here, it seems. A good choice indeed. Googly-eyed Overseer here. Alright, well, he's still making some drones, interestingly enough. He's gonna get an upgrade as well, so I would assume he's gonna at least wait for that, right? And now he's gonna back into drones. Okay, so, well, a little bit of mixed messaging here for Armani. I suppose you do need a good amount of roaches here, but I feel like they may have been a little bit too early on. When you are in such a position where it's like you lost so much, you want to be as greedy as you can get, right? And then safety comes second, because you just can't afford to really be safe anymore. Just play it well well spread out. So I think those roaches maybe a little bit too early on the production tab. Could have squeezed out a couple more of the drones. But he should be okay, as long as the bios manage to connect here rather nicely. He should be okay. I am assuming, as long as he uses the ramp area here as well. Or here. Either are fine. It's a really good spread as well, actually, from Armani. I'm liking this. Oh boy. Bios not really landing on top of the army here. I think it was a bit hesitant to use everything at once. But that does mean that Astrea did manage to push forwards here a little bit. So a lot of adepts do manage to just move on through. Actually send a lot more of his adepts through. And once again, massive economic damage here taking place for Armani. He's gonna get that Nidus Worm. It did get scouted, so our Astrea is moving backwards. This is gonna be in time. He might lose a couple of probes here himself. But you know what, that's not too frightful of an army. Not completely convinced that I like Astrea moving back here. I think it would have been okay if he just went for the base straight, perhaps, but why risk it here, I suppose, is what he is thinking. Oh, being on this ramp, though, that's even worse for him now, isn't it? Having to try and break this ramp. So much more difficult to bios. Like, how are you going to miss bios here, ever? Right? That's right. So, getting a lot of those already. Now Astrea just finds himself in a very awkward position. Might give Armani actually some form of a way of a comeback here. Trying to get everything up on the high ground here with the War Prison, but has to dodge and weave those bios as well with the Immortals at the same time. Ay, 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 ay. Another Nidus Worm here on the low grounds, and yeah, Astrea, this may have been a small judgmental error. Unfortunately, not doing so great breaking this. And now he's with 17 army supply versus 60. So that's 3 times the army supply now for Armani available. And he's on top of the probes. Gonna tug down that pylon over there as well. A lot of the production for Astrea is gonna fall. Not mining anymore in the main base. That's a problem too. Wow. Alright. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I really do think that he would have been better off just staying on the other side of the map here. That's a small mistake that I like to make myself as well. I'm like, but I don't want to lose my base. As long as the macro game just kind of keeps going, I should be okay, because I killed all your workers. So as long as I defend my workers now. Didn't happen. Didn't happen there. Unfortunately for Astrea, it looked like he really had that one, but hey. Armani just tomfoolering him. I don't know how to call it really, but yeah, keeping Astrea on his tippy toes, and Astrea getting caught off balance. So yeah, well played there by Armani. That means that Astrea gets the map choice. Let's see what he picks, of course, and then we're gonna hop on right into that one. I picked Eternal Empire because I know it's usually a macro map, but well, maybe that's already a, well, I don't know actually. I don't know who that favors anymore. The world's a strange place. I don't know what map he wants. Let me quickly grab a drink as well. Alright. Go Nightshade. Let's go Nightshade. Alright. Off to Nightshade we go. Nightshade, another one of those maps that does facilitate pretty reasonably well towards the thingamajig. The adept play, I'd say. But then again, most of the maps right now do facilitate to the adept play, so well, we're gonna have to wait and see. We're gonna have to wait and see. Anyway, guys, game number 2 is on the way. You gotta have to wonder though, Astrea, well, he probably realizes, right, his mistake. He probably does. Trying to break his own main base there with the ramp area. Like, I think he would have been even better off just kind of protecting his natural base and avoid Armani from moving down the ramp. But then again, I suppose this Tinnitus one would have fixed that situation for him, so didn't really have what it needed to be. Anyway, here we go, guys. Game number 2. In the top left side, the blue Zerg. He's from Africa Freaks. He is Armani. And then in the bottom right side, my fellow Alpha Exa. He's the red Protoss. He is Astrea. The American who has found himself in Korea right now. Trying to improve in that lovely game of StarCraft 2. It's a tough thing to do, of course, though. Alright, we'll be able to get in here pretty quickly. Armani went for a very quick hatchery, so it can't be blocked anymore here, actually. It's an incredibly quick hatchery. Of course, those hatchery blocks also help out the adept pressure as well. As the adept pressure then we'll be able to just go over here, right? It becomes a lot more difficult to protect both this mineral line and this mineral line at the same time, especially with roaches. Now with Zerglings, it's not that much of a big deal anymore. Well, the Zerglings, because people start using Zerglings more so of this. This is some nice drone harassment here with this probe. Doing a pretty good job so far. Nexus here before the cyber core. Alright, now I'm kind of want to see how quickly Armani goes into that third base. Looks like he's playing it safe again. Just going to get himself the queens first and foremost. Overlord's at his at Astrea's natural right now. We'll be able to see things are not absolutely bonkers on the other side of the map. He doesn't have to go into panic mode, which is always a nice thing to realize. Twilight Council once again for Astrea. Really, the two openings right now that we do have for the Protoss available is, of course, the Adept opening with the Glaives, or you could go for a Stargate as well. People still do, sometimes. It's less common, though, of course, but can still get some stuff done for you. You're a little bit behind overall in your... Well, I guess the tech tree that you might want to fill out. Twilight Council, very important to get the charge upgrade and stuff like that, right? You will be able to get the Archons a bit sooner. Anyway, weaving in there, getting himself a drone kill. Not too bad, not too bad. Just one, but still. Also gets the scout, of course, seeing that there's a healthy amount of drones. Also quite important. And a dark shrine, actually. That's another one of these openings that you could do. It's a little bit one of the older ones, but still very valid. Definitely works. I like the fact that he did get himself a stalker here to deny the Overlord from scouting. The Overlord now moving backwards quickly. Realizing he will die otherwise. Oh my god, that was close. So doesn't lose that one. He is sending out a couple of links as well, realizing it's going to be difficult to really fully get the scout. So he wants to see what is flying out of the base here for Astrea. As whatever it is, usually it's gonna be flying out, right? Whether it's the War Prism or whether it will be the Stargate attack. Alright, that's the War Prism with the Adepts now moving out. Kind of a little bit of a mixed message, I suppose, for Armani. Because, well, some cloak and mirrors, perhaps. Armani not quite sure whether this is the Adept Glaive attack, of course. Could still be something else, and that's why Astrea is gonna go for the Dark Templar, first and foremost. There has been Spore Crawlers created, though, unfortunately, for Astrea. And the lay attack is already up as well, so we'll just be able to make a couple of those Overseers. Now, and this is why, also, of course, if this base got blocked, then all those drones, well, at least a lot of them would have been over here, right? And these Adepts right now would have been able to get a good amount of kills. That all comes down to Armani deciding to get that hatchery a lot quicker to avoid getting hatch blocked. Third base for Astrea will be constructed pretty shortly. So he's not gonna go anything crazy here. This is interesting though, isn't it? Don't see this one every day. A very quick Spire. Money planning something cheeky here. I'm not sure if Astrea is going to get the chance to really scout this. It wouldn't be unlikely for him to try on the other side here with the War Prism and the two Archons, as long as they stay alive, of course. Oh, gets the Overseer. That's pretty nice. But recalls out of there, thinking that he might need the Archons here to protect that third base. So that's gonna lower the odds of really scouting the Spire by quite a large margin. Which is unfortunate, but you know what? Well played there by Armani. I'm not quite sure if he moved those links there just to try and do that, but definitely worked out that way. And now Astrea already up against the Mutalisk that are halfway done. 6 of them in total gonna get constructed, and he's actually making a cannon here. Didn't he figure it out? Is it because there's no 4th base? That could be the reason. He's just making a single one, so he's just wanting to make sure this 3rd base is relatively safe. He's not doing it in his... It might also just be for the circling run-bys, right? That could be the case as well. It's just going to help out a little bit against those Mutalisk as well. Oh my dear lord, that would be horrendous. And, well, it is. War Prism falls, so these Archons here not getting too much value anymore. They are very strong against those Mutas, of course. That's a quick, nimble, defensive way to really get yourself up in good locations underneath the Mutalisk and immediately do a whole bunch of AoE damage. Astrea just having the bare minimum of Stalkers right now to really push the Mutalisk backwards, and they are just going to rotate back around into the main base for more Stalkers on the way. Luckily. And wouldn't mind seeing Blink getting started here, but then again, it looks like Armani is just going to go for 6 Mutalisk in total. And let it just stick around that number, not really doing anything else with them. So, not making any more, just went up to a mad amount of drones. Forcing a response out of Astrea here, and now just kind of rotating in and out of these 3 bases. Well, we'll actually depower these 2 gateways. That's pretty nice. Might be able to get in now as well, because there's nothing to warp in here. Oh la la, that is no bueno here for our Astrea. He is in a bit of trouble. 26 workers there on that third base. It's a whole lot of workers. Was it too many for our blue Zerg? That could be the case, of course. Still, one of those probes, sentries, a whole lot of energy. Do go down. Pretty nice splits against those Biles. Biles trying to land mostly on those Archons right now. But staying pretty safe. Being able to dodge and weave their way through. Ooh, that was a close one, actually. In a bit of trouble. He's losing a lot of probes here at home as well, by the way. Don't forget about that. So he needs to make something happen here. And I'm not quite sure if he has enough. It looks like it's just not snowballing into his favor here anymore. These two changelings as well, especially making it a bit rough. It would have been nice if those were actual zealots, but not the case. And yeah, that means we're going to go up into game number 2 here. Armani going up 2-0 so far. And yeah, a little bit unfortunate, honestly. Those Mutalisks maybe forcing Astrea's hand there a little bit too early on. And then again, I guess he didn't really do that much damage with the Archons or the DTs either, right? So bit of a rough one. Alright, anyway. Let's see, game number 3. If I will turn the luck around here for Astrea. Of course, I mean, he did go 1-1 against Dark earlier today, but maybe Armani is just better than Dark these days. Who knows? Who knows, right? That could be. That could be the case. Yeah, we're just gonna give him a second. Wait for that map pick to be a thing. And we'll get ourselves sorted out. Probably thinking it through right now. Everdream will be our battlefield. The Everdream forests. It's a lovely forest, honestly. Looks pretty darn sweet. I love the pink trees. That's the great thing about it, isn't it? The pink trees on the the greenish bluish colors, the cyan colors. That's great. That's great. All right. Anyway, Armani's good to go. Astrea is good to go as well. Nice. Then we are just gonna get things rolling. Game number 3. All right. Astrea up in hot waters right now. Needs to get himself a little bit of a breathing room, right? Getting at least 1 win on the board here would be pretty nice, especially if you still plan to win a series like this. Best of 9, can't really let your opponent walk away too quickly with this kind of stuff, because, well, he's fighting against Armani, a very, very strong Zerg player here. He's probably not the strongest on a Freak of Freaks as well, another thing to consider, but he's learning a lot from his teammates there as well. Ooh, I gave the point to the wrong person. Alright, let's go. Let's go into the game. Let me quickly put away my drink. My morning wake-up call. Alright, anyway. In the bottom left side, here we have him again, the Blue Zerg, fighting for a Freak of Freaks, 2 points in the lead in his best of 9 series. He is Armani. Top right, there's a red Protoss. Fighting for survival right now, needs to turn this train around. It's the red Protoss. Alpha Axis. Astrea. Now, it would obviously be rather nice for Astrea to really get the momentum back into his favor here, but it's a tough ask. It's a very tough ask. Honestly, after that first game, that's got to be a little bit of a stab in the heart, right? In a way. Doesn't make you feel all that motivated to to keep going with big games here, but you know what, Astrea is still second game as well, continuing on with the macro openings. I guess, well, the first game was a little bit of a cheesy opening, to be fair. Shouldn't make it out to be like one of these macro openings here, although he did transition ultimately. Maybe he was just meant to kind of finish his opponent off there a little bit more so, instead of just, unfortunately, killing a whole lot of stuff and then dying anyway. That's a rough thing. That is a rough thing to have happen. Anyway, because there was a crazy amount of damage. Okay, right. Regardless of that, guys. Regardless of that, let's hope he can get stuff rolling his way down the hill this time. Alright, very quick third base this time around. Astrea unaware just yet how quickly the third base was thrown down. And adding in the third option for the Protoss openings this time around. Gonna go for the Stargates. Right. Jack of all trades here. Just going down the list of trying everything here against this opponent. You can do this type of stuff, right, in a best of 9. You can kind of still just test the waters here and there a little bit. You don't necessarily always have to go with whatever you practice the most. I'm not saying that Astrea hasn't practiced both these three things equally. He may have, but usually people do tend to kind of stick on one build for a while, grind that out for a little bit, and not sure what Astrea went for there recently. I'm not even sure if Astrea does stuff like that in that sense. I should ask him at a later point today. Probably not right now. This would be a horrible time to ask him things. He's gonna have to type as well. It's like already not doing that great in the best of 9, and I'm just gonna have to answer my questions as well. It's like that new series, Archangel Attacks, right? It's kind of the TL attacks as well. What was it called again? I forgot. The Archangel Files. Right, the Archangel Files. Where Rushy and Creighton both kind of look around. Well, they're in a map with a pro player, right? And they have the pro player fight against other people, and then they just keep asking questions. They do it through voice, though, so I suppose doing it through text would even be worse, but ah well. Ah well. Anyway, I'm drifting off topic here. Let me try and get things a little bit more sorted. Astrea not really getting anything done so far with that Oracle, unfortunately, as it did get scouted. Armani having a solid defense so far. We are seeing Astrea going up to 3 Oracles so far, though, so that could mean that might still catch Armani off guard. Because, you know what, 2 Oracles, that's what to be expected, right? 3 Oracles, it's getting a little bit to the, well, that's a lot of Oracles mark. I'm not sure what else to call it, the unexpected mark, perhaps. The depths here in the third base as well. Not quite finding a lot of worker damage there, unfortunately. One of the Oracles as well, falling a little bit low on that HP here. Another Oracle coming in on his left side. All the Adepts do manage to escape. This Oracle does get spotted immediately. Oh no, actually the Queen just was just repositioning herself there. Nice pull away from Armani. Oh no, the probe! The probe just pushed the Adept out of the wall there. That could have been bad. It almost ended horribly. Alright, well, I'm surprised Astrea is still playing split up with these Oracles. Would have expected him to kind of put them together. But no, he's really adamant about just keeping them apart here and try multi-pronged harassment instead. It's a little bit like Terran drops in a way right now. No, he is using one for defensive purposes, actually. And the other 2 for just trying to harass the main mineral line right now. I guess the worker count is 1 in head here for Astrea. He only killed off 3 workers, but I mean, Armani didn't really overmake Zerglings here. But he's just playing it safe, I suppose. Doesn't want to take any unnecessary risk. Might even be able to... Okay, no. Thought he might get a good surround on one of those sentries, kill one of them off. Oh, he's still going for it anyway. Alright. Oh, good force field so from Astrea. Look at that. A tiny little clump of sentries. A Siamese sentry triplet. Don't see those every day, but we saw one there. What happens when you compress 20 sentries together? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. The tickle beam might actually start doing damage then. Right, that's actually a pretty darn good surround. I like this force field as well, though. Providing cover between the Nexus and the force field there. There's an overseer over here. Revelation coming down on the drone line and the queens, I suppose. Realizing that there is another base here now. After seeing those drones go over there. Again, we see this safety cannon in the third base for Astrea. I think this is just mostly in case of link run-bys. As that probably is a thing that a lot of the pro-Koreans do, right? The Zergs. Storm getting constructed here. And, well, that's a good call, actually. As we are having just Hydralisk, Zergling, and Baneling, it looks like, as the army composition here for Armani. And Astrea continues the harassment here in the main base. And, oh my dear lord. Alright, that's a bit much. That might be a bit much. But it's going to keep most of the evil Protoss units out of there, right? I guess with the Oracles and the War Prism now as well. Maybe it's not too much of an over response, but hey. Oh, this looks like a Baneling drop in the making. I don't think... Well, maybe a stress. No, actually the Zealot not really moving there, so probably did not see it. There's another probe over here, or a observer over here in the sky. A lot of Banelings on that production tab. Astrea trying to do that multi-pronged harassment one more time here, but I'm pretty sure... Actually, he hasn't seen the Spore Crawlers just yet, so... Needs to be careful here. He does see that army somewhere else, then he might try to go in here. And he might lose that War Prism even, right? As long as he doesn't fly in with an appropriate angle. He might be able to kind of pass by over here, right? Without getting shot by this one. I think. I hope. But I'm not completely convinced, actually. Oh boy. Ouch. Ouch. The Baneling drop as well. Apparently, I think I missed it, but... It did get 15 probes there. That's a lot of probes. Although Astrea's still on 71. Might not be the worst, actually. Might be able to allow him now to get up to a higher army supply on the maxed count. And he might have a pretty good shot. Oh dear. Why are there two Immortals here, sir? Sir, those are not Scouting Zealots. They are a bit more costly. Unless if those Banelings just roll into them right now. How funny would that be? Just accidentally running all those Banelings in. Alright, not happening just yet. Another drop of Lords here with the Banelings though coming in. I'm hoping to see Astrea being a little bit more aware now after having that happen one time. I think he might be looking out for it a little bit more so right now. And there you have it. Alright, sees it. Whops in these stocks. That could have gone bad. Stacking up all your probes. Not the most advisable thing to do against Baneling drops. Oh, I love this though. Just keeping this Overlord around. That's going to pressure Astrea to just continuously look at that location. Right? Just a continuous thorn in his side, which he needs to keep tabs on. Did this Spore Crawlers get anything? No. Where is the War Prism right now then? War Prism? Oh, it's still here. Alright. More Zealots getting cleaned up. And, well, that Great Aspire now is quickly advancing in the production tab. So I'm not quite sure if that's going to be able to... Astrea is going to be able to kind of hold his own here. Or, well, I mean, just push into the Zerg base, really, is what I mean. It's what I would like to see him do. Although, how is this 100 army supply? Where is the rest? Oi, 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 oi. I think it's just mostly spread out with attempted run-by locations. And I mean, I like it, but... Look at this. All those status traps as well. I mean, if he does manage to get Armani here to commit and chase him down... Well, he's not going to get flanked from this side anyway, alright? That's the main thing, I suppose. Gets a base here finally. That is nice. We'll be able to send those zealots in as well at this location right here. A little bit slow with doing so though, unfortunately. Might give the opportunity for Armani. Alright, in comes the War Prism. It's getting quite low. And loads, well, 2 of the zealots right here. We'll be able to get cleaned up. A lot of those Zerglings do get caught out here, but... yeah. But he's still not really what you were hoping for in Astrea. They managed to clean up the spine crawlers there, but of course it's still quite dangerous with the Zerglings and Banelings and Hydras about. Oh my god. Losing more probes. Alright, I need to know. 47 probes died so far. Armani being an absolute annoying little Zerg with all those Baneling run-bys here. More Zergling run-bys actually as well in this base. Might be able to get a cancel there as there's only 2 Stalkers here. Actually, it looks like he's going to be okay on that side. That's nice. Now, Astrea doesn't get to see this Broodlord transition, unfortunately, just yet. But he is going to be able to clean up a whole lot of bases as that is going. And also, he saw the Great Spire here. He took it down immediately. But now he knows for certain that this will be something that is attempted here. You know what? He might be able to get himself in a good spot. We may have just a completely turnaround situation from game number 1. Where Astrea dealt a whole lot of economic damage and still managed to lose. Now Armani... well, I guess Astrea did manage to deal a whole lot of economic damage later on, but... still Armani, though. Managed to kill 50-some workers. I mean, there's nothing to be scoffed at, honestly. Alright, well, playing to his maximum degrees right now. Astrea trying his best to be on every side of the map here. It's finally starting to work out. Oh, those High Templar, though. Those are expensive. Let's manage to kind of recycle one of them into an Archon here. Does mean that he's going to have to make new ones somewhere else. Because you need to have that Storm to really try and kill off the Broodlords here. Or at least allow yourself access towards the Broodlords, right? If you kill the Hydras and Banelings with the Storm underneath, then you might be able to get underneath the Broodlords. Otherwise, you're just gonna get gobbled up, right? Slowly but surely, you're just not gonna get very far. Since, well, the Broodlings, first and foremost, right, continuously poking at you. And then whenever you try to advance, you just have the Zerglings, the Banelings, the Hydras, everything else jumping right on top of you. Okay, this is another good pick-off actually by Astrea, putting Armani back on 4 bases. Whereas Armani's still only on, well, Astrea is still on 5 bases here. Oh, those are some lovely storms actually. Look at the damage there, but does lose, I don't know, a couple of those High Templars for the price of it though. Let's take a look at 14 High Templar in total have gone down this game. He's doing well though, I'd say. He's definitely doing well. But Armani not out of this just yet. He's gonna get another cancel in this space. That is really good actually. Keep that economy to a minimum. Even gonna get into this bottom right side. Are those lurkers? Yes, they are. Okay, that is gonna put even further pressure on Astrea to perhaps transition here a little bit into something else. Might not be able to just continue onwards with the Gateway army. This is... he did see them, right? I hope he did. I really do. He needs to be aware that this transition into Lurkers is being a thing. Is this an overcommittal? I guess he does have recall, right? He could recall out. Okay, Storms to try and get the army to stay at bay. Where are the Broodlords? The Broodlords are on this side. Astrea has always been really good at this multi-pronged harassment against the Zerg specifically, right? Even in the previous meta when Infestor Broodlord was the main thing everybody did, Astrea was the one Protoss that really still managed to just kind of beat Zerg on their own terms in a way. By multi-pronged harassments, continuously poking in and out of all these locations. And that's really where his strengths were. Go for the long game and slowly dry your opponent out. Instead of just going for a big head-on collision with 2 armies. 11 more Lurkers on the way. How many is that going to be? That's 16 Lurkers so far. I mean, I guess if you don't have that... well, he did remake the Great Aspire. Okay, and Tempest now. There's a good transition here for Astrea. I think he's gone up to, yeah, 3 Stargates here. Getting himself the air weapons as well. I like the Tempest a bit better than the carriers here. Of course, it's going to be easier to poke away at those lurkers. Does he still have the... Okay, yeah, he even still has 2 of the oracles. We'll be able to revelate the army here over and over again. It's looking like he's just going to sack that base, actually. Oh, no, he's changed his mind. Coming back around. Seeing this army for Armani move backwards. I guess he realized, you know what, I might be able to save this one. Needs to get on top of it quickly, though, but isn't really able to do so, unfortunately. Just a single pylon there, powering 2 of those cannons and the shield battery. Not buying that much time in that way. And now Astrea once again up against the ropes, or up in the ropes. Up against the wall. I don't know. He has some ropes and he doesn't know what to do with them. Okay. It's not that many Hydralisks. There's only 8, so... The Tempest are an incredible threat, right? If they, as long as they just continuously keep poking, they will gain an incredible amount of value. But of course, that needs to happen in time before Astrea just loses most of his stuff here. He cannot afford to lose too many bases himself. Alright, this is nice. This is very good, actually. Getting a lot of value there. Looks like he is somewhat stabilizing here, but again, oh my god, 95 probes have been killed off this so far. How many bases have been lost? We've lost 4 hatcheries. It's not as bad as 100 workers lost, to be fair, though, but still. Alright, Tempest, they need to continuously keep shooting. There's not gonna be a lot of saving here if they don't keep shooting. And they are standing still at the moment. I guess they can't see the lurkers here. There's no revelation. There's no observer either. And that's why you have to be really extremely careful. Right, both the oracles got sniped here. Now has to go for observers instead. Looks like one observer did arrive. There's one storm to keep the Tempest safe. Nice catch on that overseer. There's another one on the way though. Needs to be careful. Does he see? Yes, he does see the overseer here. As long as he gets those, the observer will be able to inch forward, but it's just not quick enough. Now Vipers are... Oh my dear. Alright, well, another transition here for Armani. Vipers, a great counter, of course, against those Tempest. We'll be able to just yoink them away into the Hydralisk clump. And I think we need to see Astrea once again transition a little bit more so in the High Templar and the Archons. And I think that's exactly what we're seeing here. Astrea finding a good other entrance, though. That's very nice. This is going to be a rough one to push into for Armani, especially with Storm available. That's right. You just keep at your place. Oh, those Storms. Oh my god, those drones are so incredibly low. Another one by with Zealots here. Not really finding too much. Unfortunately for Astrea, Armani was not on top and remade that base just yet. A recall took place as well. Astrea gonna... There we have it, a massive amount of Archons now being added into the mix here. Stop making more Tempest, as he has 6 now, which should be okay against the Lurkers to slowly whittle them down. Any more than that and you might get in a lot of trouble due to the Hydras and such. Alright, well this is one heck of a game, guys. Holy moly. I'm loving this. If the rest of the best of 9 goes like this is going to be nuts. This is absolutely going to be nuts. It's going to be extremely draining for both these players, but overall it's going to be extremely fun for us all to watch. Another observer here needs to target down those lurkers. I'm not even sure if he sees them. Right, has another observer there actually. Targets down the Spore Crawler, and now we'll be able to slowly get rid of those. The Vipers though, hello. Wants to target those down now, but that's rough. Okay, needs to remake a couple of those Tempests now. As Armani is just, you know what, with those lower Tempest count, going back at those Lurker numbers. Adding those up again. So many spore crawlers here. Ridiculous amount. Alright, well, here we go again. More storms landing. The lurkers not really, well, actually, yeah, most of them aren't here right now. They are at the bottom. Need to watch out for those High Templar. A lot of them extremely low on the HP. Well, close in front of the lurkers, I mean. So they will be low HP very quickly. That looks okay so far. Once to get that one lurker there, that's nice. That one got a lot of value. Same for that, those Vipers, I suppose. This is an awkward one, isn't it? He is denying the mining here, which is nice. But at the same time, is he trading cost efficiently enough? Would be, oh my god, if he managed to deny the mining here as well. Coming a little bit closer. That's exactly what he's doing. He's a mind reader. Astrea is so good at picking his battles. I think that's really one of his best abilities. Kind of to just realize in which places he can start pressuring. Like, this is what I mean. Pushing in on that, this base right here. I don't know what they call it, but anyway. And then, as he sees the army move in, immediately come in with those zealots as well. Sees this base here now, too. That could be trouble. But this is basically the final remaining base for Armani that is mining. He needs to keep these other bases alive. Otherwise, he's just going to get dried out against the Protoss that is still, well, I guess not mining either, actually. Neither of these players are really mining at the moment. Let's see the income graph. It was in favor there for Armani for a little bit, but with that one maneuver there from Astrea, killing off both those bases, they were still slightly mining. Doing a rather nice job, and you know what, this is a questionable thing, right? If you're going to rebuild this hatchery here, I'm not sure if that's going to be worth it. Not that many minerals left. Would more likely want to have this base right here. Oh, Zerglings though finding their way into the probe line here again. More of these drones do get forced away from mining as well though. Some zealots getting some damage done there. Now once again Astrea realizing, you know what, if you're there, I'm gonna start pushing you on the other side. This is nuts. This is pretty darn nuts. 17 works did get killed off there. Another Oracle in position. Alright, alright. Astrea punching back this time around. A surprise lurker on that low ground. He was surprised as well, actually, himself. He's like, whoa, my god, they're on top of me. There it is. GG. Armani trying to break Astrea's army there. Not really finding it. That still ended a little bit abruptly. I wasn't sure that was going to happen. So we already saw so many little tiny engagements there. But yeah, on 11 works there in total now. Astrea manages to take the macro game. GG is called. And well played. Well played by our red Protoss player there. That's some great stuff. That's some really good stuff, actually. Alright, that means we're going to go up into game number 4 with a 1-2 score. So Astrea is still a little bit behind here. But with a game like that, you gotta say, like, well, whew, he's got a good shot. He seems to have a good shot here to really take some games. As long as he kind of gets into that weird late game situation, he shines. He really shines. Alright, Simulacrum has been picked. Simulacrum. Oh, Simulacrum. Simulacrum. I'm not sure how the French would pronounce it. Anyway, alright, so both these players saying go. We're just gonna let them go then. Alright. Off into another adventure. Man. Games like those, they're just mind-boggling, aren't they? It's like, it's just, I mean, this is why I love seeing Astrea, honestly. This is just, it just feels so different in a way sometimes, you know? I don't really ever see Protoss being that good at the multi-pronged harassment. And honestly, it's not really what you would describe Protoss with, right? The multi-pronged harassers. It's more so like Zerg, the nimble Zerg, or the quick marine bio armies from the Terrans simply dropping everywhere with Widow Mines and stuff like that. Guerrilla tactics throughout the entire series. But Astrea just does it with Protoss. He just does it, and it works great. He does it amazingly well. Knows where to push, when to push, and he knows how to make you bleed. Anyway, here we have it, guys. Game number 4. We're not even halfway yet. In the bottom right side, we have a blue Zerg player. He is from a Freak of Freaks. He is the Korean Armani. Top left is our opponent for today. Finally getting some momentum going in his direction here. Having the wind pick up in his sails. He's the Red Protoss. He is from Alpha X, the American Astrea. Actually not gonna go for the probe scout at all this time around. Could be dangerous, but so far it has been Armani just doing the hatchery first here. Getting himself the macro opening, so maybe that's why Astrea getting himself, you know, on a slight edge here, right? Because, well, I guess the previous game as well, it didn't really matter that he did get the probe across the map there for the hatchery block. Armani already going for a very quick hatchery, so not scouting now. And Armani going for that very quick hatchery would in fact help out, of course. I don't think it was, though, that incredibly quick hatchery this time around. I'm just not good at paying attention. But we're just going to assume that it wasn't, alright? But, hey, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. You're going to have to get yourself the replay pack. You're going to have to get yourself the replay pack. That's just what it comes down to. Or watch the VOD, but that's a lot less fun, isn't it? Anyway, you can get the replay pack on the Maturino page, by the way. I've kind of failed to mention these things so far, but hey. There you have it. Oh, wow. This Overlord is very unlucky so far. That is not that far away here. A very small distance. Just a single hexagon, and that would have gone. That would have been scouted, especially because this probe as well managed to sneak by on that top left side. Well, the top right side before the Overlord really gained vision on here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The Stalker. Alright. That's nice. For a moment I thought the Stalker was going to push the Overlord into where he needed to go. Small mind games there, of course. I mean, if you have the Stalker and then you first move the Stalker here and then start shooting, the Overlord most likely will be like, wait, why don't you want me to go there? And then just turn around and start going into that direction. But the same thing goes for, I suppose, if you just start shooting him from here, he might try to run away that way anyway. So, bit of a coin toss, flip of the coin. All right, so first Oracle is in the garage still, just waiting for his second set of wheels, second set of beams, I should say, perhaps. Adepts here, clearing out the Zergling that is roaming around on that third base. Immediately a replacement is going to be sent in and killed off as well. Immediately another replacement. No, actually, not going to be the case. Alright, the Oracles here. Ooh, that might be close. Oh, that. Okay, does get spotted. Does get spotted. Is he going to react though? It looks like he will. Immediately throws down one of more Spore Crawler here in that third base. Second base still open. Main base does have a Spore Crawler too. Okay, so the second base actually, well, with the 3 queens should be alright, I suppose. But still, it still makes me feel uncomfortable realizing that there's no Spore Crawler. 2 Oracles already getting thwarted though on that third base. Ay, 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 ay. It's a rough one. Back to Aya with you guys. Actually, do they go back to Aya? I know they become like a little ghost and then they... Right, isn't that the thing? Isn't that a thing that Protoss do? Oh, I like this. Quick thinking there from Astrea. Pulls one of the probes on the gas. Doesn't have a warp-in available. Well played, well played. And yeah, I suppose Astrea not really getting any worker damage dealt, but Armani not really on a too high worker count himself, is he? 48 versus 52 probes right now. They're on a similar amount of bases, which is okay for Astrea too. Guess the army supply, it's growing rather rapidly here for Armani. Is he just gonna go for a big attack here? Or is he still trying to prep against the glaive dabs? I don't think he is, actually. He is gonna go across the map here. I'm pretty certain. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty comfortable with stating that he is gonna go across the map here. Unless this is one of those misclicks that you always see in my games. That could be the case as well. If that is the case, Armani is going to be my favorite player of all time. 3 workers getting killed off here, but those oracles are desperately needed at home to try and fend off against those zerglings, ravagers, roaches, and queens coming straight in here right now. Right, shield batteries, actually cannons being thrown down in a panic. The zerglings getting a full surround, and GG is called. Astrea just doesn't have what it takes to really hold that attack off. And considering half the attack wasn't even there yet, that was that was rather nasty. So yeah, Astrea just not picking up on the overall attack that was coming in there. A bit unfortunate, of course. If he had, he would have been able to get those cannons a little bit quicker. Maybe get some shield batteries. Get himself into a better position to abuse those force fields. And maybe put down some status traps, right? Status traps as well. A very powerful thing. Maybe been able to kind of hold his own. Anyway, let's see what map choice will be picked here for game number 5. We still have Golden Wall, we still have Purity and Industry, we still have Zen. Those are the 3 maps. So you know what? The 3 main, the main meme maps. All 3 of them. Pick your poison, Astrea. Pick your poison. I don't think he likes these maps, honestly. No, I do. I love these maps, but hey, I'm no pro player, so. Right. He's gonna have to think long and hard. Purity. Okay. Okay. Could be a good one, actually, for flying units here, of course. Or even the War Prism as well. The War Prism could do rather well, you know, in these types of situations. But then so could other flying Zerg units, right? I suppose. Mutalisk come to mind. We have seen Armani already using Mutalisk once. It worked out rather well for him. Oh, also guys, remember to check out the Mecherino page. I haven't really harped on about it too much, but above the chat there is a little code you can use. There is a Mecherino page, and here's what you do. Once you go to the... please, okay, there we go. And once you go to the website, right, Mecherino Tournaments, it is on the top of the chat window. All you gotta do is sign in, use any of these accounts, anything you want. I'm just gonna use Twitch right here, as that is the easiest way for me to do so. Voila, I'm logged in. I'm gonna press contribute. I'm gonna put in this code 50 cents. Blammo. Add it to the prize pool. And that's not the wrapper, that's actual money, so... You know what, I think the players are going to be a lot more happy with that one. Alright, anyway, regardless, guys, we're going to hop into this game right here. Let me set up the scores, and then... Oh, that is the wrong person. In the 12 o'clock location, we have a Blue Zerg player fighting with a spawning pool first. Alright, cheeky little man. And Freak of Freaks is Armani. And then in the 3 o'clock, there's a red Protoss. You know what, let's hope he does go for that gateway scout here. He is none other than Alpha Axis Astrea. Ay, he is staying at home. He is staying at home, folks. That could be absolute disaster. Not going for the scout here. Could be detrimental and put Armani on match point right now. How many links is he going to be making? 6 so far. He is going to add a hatchery as well, it looks like, after this. Didn't get himself speed as well, right? So it's not a full all-in. It's mostly just a lot of pressure. But that a lot of pressure can do a lot of damage here. As we are going to go Nexus after the gateway. And I'd be surprised if we're going to see a Zealot here being produced. I don't think we will. So yeah, maybe Astrea trying to get a little bit too greedy here. Trying to get away a little bit with too much. And to be fair, Armani all he has been doing so far is of course the hatchery first play. Probe there, walking straight into those Zerglings. Does get the scout, and this is the, well, this is the problem area. I guess he will be able to chrono out a zealot here a little bit. Oh, this is interesting. Pulling a lot of those probes, getting a lot of them back to safety as well. Nice micro so far. Losing a lot of them though. 6 going down. But a lot of the zealots, or the Zerglings, did fall as well. Now, I mean, yeah, more Zerglings are streaming in. Imagine if he also was making speed here. That would have been trouble. That would have been a lot of trouble. But he won't be able to get this pylon though, I'd say. Especially with the Adept out here as well now. If the Adept actually starts helping the pylon. More probes falling though, having to be pulled off that worker line. Does look like he finally stabilizes, but yeah, how many workers? 8 workers in total. It's not a complete loss just yet, but definitely a big ouch. I guess he does still have that second base, right? Worker count not too far apart, but... Alright, sending the Zealot across instead of the Adept. The Adept a little bit more capable of catching up those Zerglings. Doesn't want to just let them have the free scout here continuously. Needs to clean them up. And then just be on the lookout with a Zealot, so he knows how much he needs to defend. If there's anything else coming in behind this, or if Armani is droning up behind this, right? It's very important knowledge that he needs to go and acquire right now. Towards that third base. As long as he sees the third base, he kind of knows already what Armani has been up to, right? Just droning, droning, droning. Droning, droning, droning. Adept as well now. On that other side, there's the Zealot. Getting the scout on a third.
Glory to the Daemon.
Okay. It's gonna let this finish, I suppose. Yeah, it should do. Of course, a lot of spore crawlers here. Actually, 3 already. Let's see if there's gonna be another one. Nah, alright. That's alright. That's alright. Not too bad, not too shabby. Gateway, another one. Oh, sorry, I slapped the mic. Twilight Council. I believe this is in the vision. Yeah, straight up in the vision of this Overlord over here. So, definitely a big advantage here for Armani. And look at how delayed this is as well, right? Because of all those probes that did die. Normally you would have, right now, the Warp Prism already on the other side of the map, warping in Adepts for some sort of a glaive attack. And right now we're at almost 5 minutes. And only now we are seeing that Twilight Council completing. Right? So that's quite a big delay. That's more than a minute delay here, if not more. And Armani, he is, yeah, looks like he's miles ahead. As the Zerglings already ready for the first initial Adept wave. I suppose you don't need to have the War Prism just yet. As he did go for a lot more Adepts earlier on, so you might just have more Adepts overall. But, oi, oi, oi. That's rough. That is rough. Getting surrounded here before the Adept Glaive is done as well, so... Not even trading out, even remotely anywhere near efficient. More Adepts on this third base. Might be able to try and wiggle their way around the map here, but... That was rough. That was definitely rough. Not where he wanted to have those Adepts be at that time. Maybe he wasn't quite sure. Right, well... And with those Adepts going down, it looks like Armani is just going to start ramping up the Roach production once again. The Zerglings as well. Ay, 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 ay. This could be trouble, guys. This could be a lot of trouble for Astrea, who is going to be adding in 2 Stargates here. He does not have the time or resources to really add in 2 Stargates. He just doesn't know what is happening here. He sees these Zerglings, but he hasn't seen the Roaches and Ravages up until this point. I wouldn't be upset if he cancels the... yeah. Yeah. Another GG there being called. Armani just Overall, with those roaches and zerglings continuously surprising Astrea here a bit too much, unfortunately. And yeah, that's rough. That's rough. So that means we're gonna go into a potential final game already. Would be rather heartbreaking if this ends in a 5-1. But yeah, game number 6. Golden Wall and Zen both still available. Gonna have to wait and see what Astrea, of course, goes for. What will it be? What will it be? Will it be Golden Wall or will it be Zen? I think it might be Zen, honestly. I think Zen is a little bit better for Protoss. Alright, alright. So Zen, our 6th map here. Not looking too good for Astrea. I mean, he had a great series against Dark earlier today. But, you know what? That game that he did win against Armani, though, oh my dear lord, did he show a lot of brilliance. But, I mean, in that early to mid game, Armani just too good at blindsiding Astrea here, it looks. Maybe Astrea just trying to be a little bit too greedy, right? Maybe trying to get himself too good, well set up for the late game. That could be the case. That could be the case. I'm not quite sure. Well, not 100%. Alright. Well, anyway. Armani giving Astrea hell so far. And here we go. Here we go. Guys, let me do the introductions here. Allow me to introduce to you a red Protoss in the bottom left side, fighting for Alpha X on his last legs. Needs to win 4 games in a row. That's a tough ask. But, you know what? In a best of 9, I've seen crazier stuff happen. Will he be able to do it, though? He is Astrea. So bright. There's that blue Zerg. He is from Afrika Freaks, our Korean player here today. He is none other than Armani. Okay, so we do have the probe scout this time around. We'll not be able to get the block on the hatchery though, unfortunately, as Armani once again going for a very, very early on the hatchery here. As Astrea just, you know, a bit unlucky, did have to send that probe across the map here very early on, so gonna try to get as much out of it as possible by just annoying the drones here. Just very unfortunate overall. So yeah, once again, kind of losing the rock, paper, scissors right off the early game here. This would have been the more greedy later hatchery first. That would have been in Astrea's favor. If this was a spawning pool first, that would have been in Astrea's favor as well. As he did get the early on scouts and he would have been able to prep for it rather nicely. It was neither of those though. And the early probe here. A little bit unfortunate, but anyway, might still be able to make this happen. And I like this actually more so. I think this plays into his strengths, right? Just that late game in the PvZ. As long as he is aware of what his opponent is doing, he might be able to get himself into a good position here. Of course, later on, guys, we are gonna have another series actually. I believe that might be actually on the Twitch channel. Let me check. Oh god. Actually, we're gonna. Sorry. I'll tab after this one. Actually, I'll look it up for you guys after the after this game. It's gonna be stats versus dream. Stats versus dream will be our next best of 9 today. And well, if I haven't been lied to, I heard that Astrea is also going to be able to join us for that one and kind of co-cast with me. So that could be cool. That could be cool. If that is going to be the case, of course. I'm not 100% sure. Sometimes, you know what, Astrea just suddenly has stuff to do. Which I understand, you know, he's a busy boy. He has got to start catching those waves again. Sometimes a mermaid just shows up and Needs to have some of his lovely company. Right. Oracle, once again, it does get scouted though. Oh, this is pretty nice. Getting in between the two bases, still killing off a drone there. Slight bit of harassment. And right here, they might be able to get into the main base as well. And yeah, they do. That's a lot of missed mining here. Getting more of those drones. That's not supposed to happen. I don't think Armani really noticed the shade going to the top here. As it did happen on the ramp area. So very smart maneuver there for Astrea. What is this probe doing? I'm not completely sure. He's like, I could be an adept too. It's not the case. He's not a larvae. They're not the Zerg. They don't transform themselves into other units. But you know what? Armani did scout this, but he... Well, I guess he does have that spore in the main base. Manages to hold off with only losing 2 more workers. But that's 6 workers in total being killed off here. And Armani now with 5 workers in the deficit. That's a really good start here for Astrea. That all came down to just those adepts coming in a little bit unaware to Armani. That's some good stuff. That is some good stuff. Alright, anyway. Third bases for both these players on their way to being fully saturated. I suppose Astrea a little bit further behind here. Ooh, that's going to get killed. Oh, it isn't! Wow, okay. I'm kind of curious how many of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 some drones. And a queen. That's pretty darn solid. Okay. 7 workers right now, not mining. Look at that, guys. It's not supposed to look like that in the PvZ, let me tell you. Not supposed to look like that at all. Anyway, regardless, we still have how many oracles? 3 oracles, so it does seem to be Astrea's lucky number here. It is a magical number after all. The number 3. It's a magic number. Yes, it is. Right, anyway, that's a lot of roaches now. I think we're going to have another one of those all-ins just taking place here. As Armani's just not having it. And every time he has done this, of course, it has worked out in his favor. So it's going to happen again here. Astrea is getting himself the Twilight Council and a robotics facility. He's trying to get +1 as well. I don't think any of those are going to be anywhere near, well, not what he needs right now necessarily. I guess the Immortals are very important, but he's not going to have all too many. Wouldn't be opposed to just cancelling that +1 right now. Just try and inch out every bit of units that you can. But then again, he's not completely convinced that this is as all-in as we can see it is for Armani. He's just not droning at all whatsoever anymore. A lot of Ravagers. Okay, Astrea needs to be aware now. Gets one of those. Ooh, might be able to get 2. Come on, Oracle. Come on, Oracle. Alright. Well, gets rid of the probes on that third base. Loses a couple of them, but you know what? Armani's just going to take solace in the fact that he... Those are queens as well being pulled. He's going back into droning though, so I'm a bit surprised that all of them are getting pulled here, but hey. Alright, his choice. Astrea really ramping up the defense here on this second base though. So it's probably the right choice for Armani to get himself a more drones on the mineral line here. Perhaps start looking for a 4th base as well. Going up for the lay attack. That's another good choice, honestly. Cybercore does get destroyed. Do we already have a replacement? No, we did not. It's gonna get created right now. And only a couple of Ravagers now remaining. I mean, those Ravagers basically just a little bit of a bait as well, right? Because as soon as... oh, God. Almost getting 4 of them there. That would have been lovely. That would have been absolutely lovely. Yeah, so these Zerglings here as well, still, of course, rather dangerous. Could always jump into action. Alright, well, things kind of equalizing again, I suppose. A little bit in favor for Armani after that attack. Losing that third base. You know, that is just painful overall. So many links. That's fun. Seeing links one by one. Anyway, imagine if that was towards a lurk and the lurk is vroop, vroop. I would love to see AoE damage take place like that. Anyway. Enough wet dreams of mine. Wet, circling, dying dreams. Yeah, I mean, overall, Night is Swim now getting constructed. Armani, he is taking a full base, but I'm not quite sure how much he's going to be investing into that. Might just be a little bit of a feint here with that Night is Swim on the way. Might have the feeling that he is going to be able to just kill all of our Astrea here. Another of the disruptor shots. Okay, does get 2 units, 1 Ravager and a Roach. Oh boy. Oh Nelly. Hold your horses, Astrea. Don't lose this 3rd base again. That would be absolutely horrible, of course. It's coming close. Might need some force fields on top of the Nexus, actually. The Zerglings now coming around again, trying to nibble on top of this army. Don't lose your army either, Astrea. That might be as bad, if not even worse, as losing that 3rd base. Immortal getting low. Everything really getting low here. Nearing the shield batteries, though, is going to help out a ton. Oh, Immortal trying to get picked up there. That's a nice connection. I might be able to safeguard. Well, alright. Well, this might be it, guys. This might be too much to handle for our Protoss. That bile. Oh my god, that was nasty. 1 bile landing, like, almost killing 20 works there, it looked like. Another disruptor shot. Getting, again, a good connection, but, I mean, how are you ever gonna stim the bleeding from this situation, you know? How are you ever gonna stim the bleeding? I don't think it's possible anymore, guys. Unfortunately, Armani here on match point, of course. Remember that. So Astrea, this is his final shot to really make something happen here in this game. It looks like the all-ins, the aggression that Armani has to bring to the table. Just a little bit too much for Astrea here. And that is going to be another disruptor going down. There's a couple of Starks and Phoenixes alive, but, well, I mean, there's just more and more Roaches. GG. GG is called Armani. Congratulations to him. Takes the series 5-1. That's a bit unfortunate there for the Alpha X Astrea, but a valiant fight, and the game that he did win, absolutely marvelous. A very nice game there. And unfortunately, we didn't really get to see any other long, drawn-out macro games, but I think Armani was kind of like, well, okay, we're not doing that again against this guy. That is, that is not going to go in my favor. Alright, anyway, guys, that is going to be it then for this morning. As I said, we will be having more StarCraft 2 today. Let me take a quick glance, actually, at where this one is. It should be on this Twitter, actually. Hold up, guys. Stats versus Dream should be taking place today as well. Let me look up the time. Where is it? It's not on... Oh, okay, there it is. Alright, so it's going to be on our Twitch. Alpha X SC2, Twitch. I don't know if you guys know Twitch, but that's another streaming platform. Dream and Stats at 10 PM KST. I'm not sure what time that is CST. I think that's like 3 10 PM KST to CEST. Let me see. Yeah, that's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So if you want to see Stats and Dream fighting it out, maybe have a little bit of co-casting here of Astrea. We'll see if we can get that sorted. Go check it out then. It's going to be later on in the day. Alright guys, I've been Kozen. Really Kozen right over here. We do still have that match arena, of course. If you haven't filled it out just yet, make sure to do so. It would be very much appreciated, guys. Alright, anyway. That's gonna be it for me for now, and I'm gonna go have myself, I don't know, some more breakfast, maybe, I don't know. Alright guys, talk to you later, see you soon, hopefully, later today. Have a good one, stay cool, and yeah, thanks for watching, bye bye.